Let's start with that news from Microsoft crossing just moments ago. Our Steve Kovach is at CNBC headquarters with those headlines. Steve, over to you.
Hey there, Frank. Yeah, Microsoft right now launching its first artificial intelligence PCs. Now, these are updates to Surface computers. The Surface Pro 10 is the new one, and the Surface Laptop 6. But what makes them different, and really what is an AI PC? Well, it's a term you can expect to hear a lot this year, and here's what Microsoft says its new AI PCs can do. They have a special kind of chip inside called a neural processing unit, or NPU, that can perform AI tasks faster and more efficiently. Now, in Microsoft's case, that means Copilot, of course. That's the digital assistant that's now built into Windows 11 for business users, and Microsoft sells businesses the Copilot service for a whopping $30 per user per month. Now, with these new AI PCs, Microsoft claims Copilot is more efficient. That means better battery life, performance, and running AI tasks faster. If you've ever used Copilot or another AI chatbot, you know it can take several seconds or more for it to kind of spit out that result after you give it a command. And this is likely the first of many AI PCs we're going to see this year. And while these Surfaces use Intel chips, Qualcomm also has a new chip that's expected to appear in computers like this later this year. The bottom line, though, this is Microsoft's attempt to get more businesses to pay for Copilot, promising better performance on those devices, plus time-saving productivity gains for employees. There's some caveats here. The Wall Street Journal earlier this year said some Copilot customers who have tried it early have found problems with it. So it's actually still yet to be determined if it's worth that hefty cost Microsoft's asking for. As for these new Surface computers, they're on sale now and going to start shipping on April 9th, Frank.
All right, Microsoft shares up just about 1%, rising about 1/4% since this news crossed. Steve, stick around. We're going to get back to you. I know you have more on that Apple antitrust news. I'm going to come over to you guys here at Post 9. Carrie, saw you looking over at me when Steve was talking. AI PCs, clearly it struck a chord with you.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. All we've been hearing about is AI chips, and nobody's been making any money off of AI, really, except for NVIDIA. So it's interesting to think that Microsoft is finally coming up with something other than Copilot from which that they can boost their revenue based on everything they have in their pocket on AI. Remember, they own a big share of OpenAI's profitable arm, and they're a connector to the whole artificial intelligence world, but we haven't heard a lot more than Copilot. And using it in a PC, embedded in your PC, I think that's ingenious. We really haven't considered this aspect of it, and I thought, wow, maybe, bad on me not to have done so, but it's not just about the chip, it's the different ways we can use it. So, that's an applause to Microsoft.
Carrie, you own Microsoft. Bill, Kevin, you own it as well. I just want to bounce something off you from Gartner. It came out just a few days ago. They say Gen AI capabilities and AI processors will eventually become a standard requirement for tech vendors, but the ubiquity will make it challenging for companies to actually differentiate and make money on it. Kevin, I'm going to start with you. Again, Microsoft shares did move higher on this news, but are you concerned it's a lot of hype, but the monetization may be more difficult?
No, I think that's the reason to own Microsoft, because here's a company that, to Carrie's point, is actually monetizing the AI within their Copilot, now with these computers as well. If you look at their cloud business, up 23% last quarter, revenues in general up double digits. If you're going to be first to market and you want to monetize something, owning companies like Microsoft that make money is absolutely the way to do it. Love the stock here.
Bill?
This is just the start. I mean, the expectation was they're going to be one of the first to bring NVIDIA's technology and networking through Azure. And I think, I have a Surface right here. I love it. It's a great machine. And I think it's just the start of the monetization of what we're seeing here, moving away from NVIDIA, moving away from the chips. You're going to start to see it across the table in the tech sector and then through other sectors as well.
Josh, AI PCs, get you excited?
Well, look, I think at the edge is really where the money's going to be made. The big platform companies are obviously going to be the immediate beneficiaries of increased usage of AI, followed by the data vendors, folks like Snowflake, et cetera. But when you think about the really, really big consumer-facing and/or enterprise-facing opportunity, it's probably going to be at a layer in which regular people on an everyday basis are interacting with these tools and paying subscription fees to somebody for the right to do so. So I really don't think that this is any surprise that we're starting to see announcements of this flavor. There'll be a lot more. It's really, really early still. I think what you want to focus on, though, is probably the software opportunity more than just the hardware opportunity. The hardware will be exciting first, then eventually it'll become table stakes, it'll be commoditized, everybody will have the hardware capability, and so then it becomes a game of who has the best app, who has the best consumer-facing and or employee-facing app, and what are the stickiest services that people get to a point where they can't live without. We're probably, I don't know, I'm not a technologist, maybe 6 months to 12 months away from me being able to definitively say anything. So for now, we should all just continue to monitor these developments.
You know, speaking of this development, Intel will also provide the chips or the CPUs for these devices. Intel shares up about 2% as well.